Well, hello and welcome to This Week at CBN. Today I want to talk about doubt because I think a lot of Christians in America and around the world are doubting right now and wondering about the promises of God. We're seeing some horrible natural catastrophes, an economy that just never seems to rebound. Many people are facing job loss, home loss, and a lot of us, I would say all of us, are wondering about the future. Will tomorrow be better or will it be worse? And are we being fearful as we face the future? Well, I'm here to let you know that that's okay. That even some of the great heroes of the faith laughed when they heard the promises come from God. And they laughed at specific promises for them. So be encouraged by that it's okay to doubt. It's okay to even laugh at God when he's making a direct promise to you, because God's faithful, and he remains faithful even when we're faithless. And he loves you so much, he's willing to put up even with you laughing at him in order to see that his promise will come true for you. Here it is from Genesis chapter 17, and this is the father of the faith. God promised him, you're going to have a son, and Sarah's going to have a son. What was Abraham's first reaction? Well, he fell on his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born to a man who's 100 years old? And shall Sarah, who's 90 years old, bear a child? So Abraham said to God, oh, that Ishmael might live before you. See, he'd already tried to accelerate the promise. Ishmael had already been born. And so while he's laughing at God, while he's literally falling on the ground, he fell on his face and laughed. While he's doing that, he's telling God, well, you know, all right, what about this Ishmael? Have you ever done that to God, where you didn't believe the promise, and so you try to divert it into something else for what you can see and what is tangible, and you actually limit him to say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but why don't we go this way? God was still faithful to Abraham, and God said to him, no, Sarah, your wife, shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac, which in Hebrew means laughter. God actually turns the laughter of both Abraham and Sarah into a son that they name Isaac laughter. They actually honor the laughter that they did to the face of God. And they honor him by naming their son Laughter. I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant. You've got that. You've got the everlasting covenant that Jesus established with you in his blood. This is the new covenant in my blood. And he's done everything there is to do with that covenant. All you have to do is believe it. Now, as for Ishmael, as I've heard you, behold, I'll bless him. I'll make him fruitful. I'll multiply him exceedingly. He shall beget 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you at this set time next year. And he finished talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. Now, next chapter in Genesis 18, you have the whole episode of Sarah laughing. And God's talking. He says, I'll certainly return to you according to the time of life, which means 9 months. And behold, Sarah, your wife, shall have a son. And Sarah was listening. She was in a tent. She was listening. And Abraham and Sarah were old, well advanced in age, and Sarah had passed the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I've grown old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also. And the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I surely bear a child since I'm old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time, I will return to you according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Yeah, it's interesting, Sarah's reaction. She even lies. I didn't laugh because she was afraid. And even in the face of that, God says, no, you did laugh, And then understand, he fulfilled the promise. God came through. I'm hearing a lot in Christian circles about doubt, about foreboding, and wondering about the future. Understand, God still has us. His promises won't fail. He's seen you through this far. He'll see you all the way through. He is able to present you spotless in his presence with exceeding joy. So don't lose heart. Don't laugh at the promise. Don't wonder, can this really be? Here's what happened to Abraham after this whole incident. Because something about God even knowing that Sarah was laughing within herself, something about that created a faith in him where he now has, even though he laughed at God and the promise, he is now called the father of the faith. And it's through his faith that all the promises came. You find it in Romans chapter 4. And not being weak in faith, Abraham did not consider his own body already dead since he was about 100 years old, and the deadness of Sarah's womb. He did not waver at the promise of God through unbelief, but was strengthened in faith, giving glory to God, and being fully convinced that what he had promised, he was also able to perform. Therefore, it was accounted to him for righteousness. Let your faith wax strong. In these days of doubt and uncertainty, let your faith wax strong. Let your hope be even against hope, that you know that he who has promised is able, and let that faith be accounted to you for righteousness. Well, that's it for this week at CBN. God bless you.